Marvel Snap is a new card battling game that I'm hooked on, and it's a really good example of easy to pick up, tricky to master. To that end, here are some of our best tips to give you the upper hand in your superhero deck building journey.
Understand card pools. Something that isn't clearly explained in the game is the concept of card pools. This is linked to your collection level, as there are thresholds on the collection level track that, once reached, will unlock access to a new pool of cards to unlock. The thresholds for each of the three pools are as follows. Pool 1 is between 18 to 214, Pool 2 is level 222 to 474, and Pool 3 is level 486 and above. All the cards you earn within these pools are the same, but the order in which you receive them from the collection level track will be random for each player. And let me tell you, there are some very strong cards in pools 2 and 3. But for now, I'm still stuck in pool 1. Save your credits. Early on in Marvel Snap, the most important aspect to upgrade is your collection level, and this is your method for unlocking new cards. Credits upgrade the cards you already have, and therefore you'll need them to progress.
And on that note, do not buy the fast upgrades in the store. You're basically throwing away credits.
It can be tempting to push every credit you have into upgrading a card you love, advancing high into the upgrade tiers. Don't do this, particularly early in your gameplay experience. New cards will come quickly via the collection level track, and each time you upgrade a card, the resources required quickly escalate for less than impressive returns. As the rewards for progressive upgrades don't scale according to the cost increase, it's better to climb the earlier ranks of the collection. Level by sticking to uncommon and rare upgrades for cards, unlocking the next card, playing with it to earn boosters, upgrading it to uncommon or rare, and so on. Upgrade the lower cost cards first.
I've even built what I call a leveling deck, and this is really good to do early on in game before your levels really matter. It's not only fun to play with a random deck, but you learn more about the cards you're using. Plus, you can very quickly climb that collection ladder for a low cost and unlock even more cards for your deck. Use gold wisely. Gold is a premium currency in Marvel Snap. Gold is obtained through the season pass, weekly challenges, ranked rewards, the in-game store, or random gifts. Though there are a number of ways to acquire gold, you'll want to use it as efficiently as possible. The most cost-effective way of spending gold is by refreshing daily missions as you complete them. Refreshing costs 120 gold for 2 missions. You can earn credits and XP by completing easy and hard daily missions. And comparatively, you can purchase 150 credits in the store for 120 gold, but gain no season XP in the process. It's recommended you don't spend gold on credits or card variants in the store unless you really like the variant or don't have time to play and complete missions. Keep an eye on who has priority. Not only does the order in which you play your cards matter to properly synergize effects and combos, you'll need to keep an eye on who has the reveal priority from turn to turn. This is decided by who is currently winning the match. If you have more power in more locations compared to your opponent, your cards will be revealed first. At the beginning of the game, it is a 50-50 coin toss as to who will reveal first. This will be denoted by a gold glowing outline either around your or the opponent's name tag. You can actually strategize with this, as certain on-reveal effects in particular will definitely favor you revealing second. Elektra is a perfect example. Revealing first on turn 1, playing Elektra will do nothing, but revealing second on turn 1 with Elektra means you might be able to destroy the opponent's 1-cost card. You can also sometimes catch your opponent off guard with a counter Elektra that targets a 1-cost card which they've buffed, so keep that in mind. Tailor your deck. As your collection level grows, you gain access to a large number of new cards. You want to begin to tinker with your deck to optimize your output within each game. Think about how the cards work with each other. For example, I have a Carnage Nova build where Carnage kills Nova and Wolverine in this play. Wolverine comes back and Nova buffs all of my other cards on the board for 1. Separately, Lady Sif has now buffed my Apocalypse card by 4 power. Squirrel Girl would have been used to make food for Carnage, or just be another card that Nova buffs when he is killed. Be sure to check out our deck building video for some tips on good decks you could try. Don't overcommit on a location early. When you begin your journey in Marvel Snap, it can be tempting to play a card or 2 per turn in the same location. Whilst this should obviously be the case for synergistic cards, trying to bulk up a location to ensure victory means that you are leaving yourself fully vulnerable to being outmatched at the other 2 locations. It's often best, depending on your deck, to play the first few turns across all 3 locations, strategically deducing where your opponent will be contesting for, where your opponent will be competing, and then use
using the final few turns of the game to bolster areas where you are already ahead, or sneakily playing a high power card or effect on the last turn to swing the location back in your favor. Pay attention to featured and new locations. Featured locations are often brand new locations that are added to the game and have an increased chance of appearing in every single game, with a percentage chance set to around 40%. These will appear on the home page of Marvel Snap, so check back often. The bonus remains active for 48 hours after their debut and will return to the standard location pool with normal appearance likelihood rates after. As such, you can capitalize on the featured location and its effect by building a deck to use specifically during those 48 hours. If your deck can take full advantage of that location, you are likely to have an upper hand in comparison to your opponent. Be careful though, as your opponent could just as likely have a deck built or a counter deck for that location. Snap smartly. Snapping is a key mechanic of Marvel Snap. The clue is in the name. And this will become particularly relevant as you get further into your gameplay experience. You can snap to double the potential rank rewards of the game if you are feeling confident that you will win, but you can equally snap to play mind games with your opponent even if you are falling behind. This is incredibly risky, but if your opponent doesn't take the bait and retreat, you can still retreat the following turn for minimal losses. Study your opponent's plays. This may seem like an obvious one, but be sure to pay attention to the cards that your opponent is playing against you. This is for a couple of reasons. One being that you may encounter cards you've never seen before, or more importantly, cards that you already know and may possess that are being used in a way that you hadn't considered. Coupling a card with a specific location or synergizing with another card that you hadn't thought of is a great way to learn new and exciting strategies. So even if you end up retreating, you can at least take away some new knowledge. Ties can be best. While your goal in a game of Marvel Snap is to win 2 out of the 3 locations, sometimes you can't quite manage that. If you are winning one location, contesting another, and outright losing the third, sometimes it's smarter to aim for the location you are losing if you can match the power they have there, as the opponent may be more likely to try and win the location you are both contesting. Doing this can often lead to stealing the win from underneath your opponent. In Marvel Snap, ties resolve by determining who has the greatest power difference in the other locations than those that are tied. Risk an unrevealed location. On each of the first 3 turns in any game of Marvel Snap, a new location is revealed. While some players like to play it safe and only place cards on revealed locations that they know the effects of, sometimes it can be worth taking a risk early on and placing a card on an unrevealed location. If the location is something like Sanctum, cards can't be played here, or the Danger Room, where cards can be played there but have a 25% chance of being destroyed, then you can gain an immediate advantage or even secure a victory in some cases. This is an equal chance of backfiring, of course, but the risk might just be worth it. Hopefully these tips will put your cards at the top of the deck. For more Marvel Snap, check out our recommendations for the best type of decks or visit our full Snap guide on IGN.